there are multiple systems you can use. There are several hundred passwords you need to remember. So from that point of view, yeah, using a password manager is quite obvious.
We don't have passwords.
When did you last use an online service where you had a very good experience in the login experience or a very bad experience? Do you remember an example?
I would know, for example, I had to do an identification to get a certificate, a signing certificate. Mm-hmm. And that was really cumbersome. So you always, with each login, you had to do your face liveliness test and passport. Mm-hmm. And identification card was not even working. So you had to use your passport. And that was really nasty. So if you always have to, from ground up, identify yourself, it's really very bad.
Every time the password. Yeah. Okay, I understand. Donny, do you remember any very good or very poor experience?
Yeah, I think a poor experience, but already speaking on a quite high level, is when I need to use kind of this standard authenticator. So as a second factor, this is just not so straightforward. I have to change the app. Then whenever I see, okay, the counter is close to generate the next number, so I wait another second. Could be easier if this is a smoother process. It's more integrated into the direct life cycle. Mm-hmm. And yeah, as a good example, I want to highlight for sure our own app. So there is, with the biometrics or a PIN, everything done. It's a strong login. It's and we can use that as well then to authenticate any payments. It's involved in our one app, and so from that point of view, I think it's really the highest standard that we can fulfill there in terms of usability and customer needs and security.
So I have a question: how do you manage your passwords? Like, you're a security officer, you are in product. Do you have any tips?
We don't have passwords.
I like
so we from the beginning have given out the order that we only have two-factor authentication in all our solutions. For the application, we have the Futurae authentication solution, and also there you don't need to have the password.
Very nice. How do you manage passwords personally, Donny?
Personally, it's quite a pain because, there are multiple systems you can use. There are several hundred passwords you need to remember. So from that point of view, using a password manager is quite obvious. Or you use something like storing it in browser, which is not really secure, but you see then as well how many of those passwords gonna leak. So from that point of view, the trust in passwords in nowadays could be higher, and I think there you have a good solution.
So Donny, how is the authentication experience for your customers? Do you have any example that you can give?
Sure. There is an excellent example that we encountered quite recently. So we migrated from our 2 app to 1 app. And this migration went very, very smooth. We didn't have any customer feedback at all in negative wise, and it was done within a couple of seconds. So just one biometric authentication and the migration was done.
Yes, and the amount of work which was done behind the scenes was really not that tiny, because it was really the new SDK from Futurae with very enhanced security. So that enabled us to use really one app and still have a proper separation for security.
When it comes to fraud, I mean, we have seen that last year fraud has increased like exponentially. The way how refined phishing attacks have become has been comparatively out of proportion from what we have ever seen before. Do you also see that? And have you ever been personally affected by fraud, or know someone close who has been affected by fraud?
Yeah, for sure. Mostly then coming from the card industry, there is quite common, and ever since that the whole industry is fighting against. But What we for sure can say, we have there always when there are going mails around, hey, be attention, there is another phishing mail going around. We are quite relaxed in that because phishing cannot appear in our application. Using Futurae, using a passwordless system, there is no credential you can phish. So from that point of view, fortunately so far, and touching wood, we never have been affected due to phishing so far.
Nice. And have you seen other fraud types or heard about other fraud types?
Yeah, for sure. Money mules. Yeah. That's for sure something that we had to fight against, especially while people were actively sharing their credential with third parties to getting access to their accounts, which they are not then should be granted. And yeah, from that point of view, we always try to do this kind of re-onboarding while showing the face and doing a comparison with the original person that was captured during the onboarding procedure. So from that point of view, as well there, we try to follow there the principle of not having only one security measurement. There should be always 3 factors that we are comparing together. So one is who is the person themselves, something that the person know, and something that the person has. So we can easily compare those figures, and we try to keep our environment there as safe as possible. Yeah. Seeing then in the card environment, sometimes quite stupid fraud. There is identity theft going around, getting access to your Apple Pay, Google Pay credentials, and then it's not so easy to get the chargeback procedure, everything done. So from that point of view, there are multiple ways where we have to fight every day against fraud and do there our best.
Yeah, and Dani, as you have nicely said, I think it's always a race to make barriers as complicated and high as possible to destroy the business model of criminals. The more it's complex, the more they will give up and run to the next organizations to try. What were originally reasons why you have chosen to work with Futurae?
Primarily also because Futurae was already in the market with bigger companies with very sensitive data. And we had to get the FINMA certification. And so we had the possibility with Futurae that there was a trust to Futurae that they have a solution which is
always
sound.
Used by the market.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Dani, can you say something about the collaboration, how personally you perceive the collaboration with Futurae? Is there something you can share?
Yeah, absolutely. So far we always loved to work with Futurae because there are a lot of competent person on your side. And I think there the collaboration was then easy. We spoke on the same level, from a technology base, from a forefront of technology. So I think there it's really great collaboration ever since we started. And looking forward to come more.
Likewise. Markus, you as a Swiss bank at Yapeal also have to comply with regulatory compliance. Is there any other feedback that you have for Futurae?
Yes. We are now live with card payments since 5 years. And I'm very happy that we are up 7 times 24 all the time. And also the authentication solution was working all the time. So we had no outage.
That's exciting to hear. And for many more successful years together. So Dani, what was the lessons learned in this security project that we did together?
I think for us, it was really that we want to, on one hand side, from my point of view, always having the head of customers and product development. In my strong focus, it was always that the security, the authentication should be really easy and straightforward. And on the other hand side, on Markus' focus was the security. And fortunately, then based on your solution, we didn't have many conflicts because your solution is convenient and secure.
I'm happy to hear. So you guys still go for beer in the evening? You don't
Sure.
have fights?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, very nice.